back on the Cape, and just 2 weeks since the last time we were here, and time to get little girl uncovered. We just got over the bridge and made a beeline for Seafood Sam's and had some nice lunch. Got the scallops, which I love, and so anyway, here we are. Oh, it looks like it looks like she came out great. They had a lot of rain here, and it didn't belly down in the tarp the way it does sometimes. Yeah, we're good. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, time to get her unwrapped. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Yeah, good to be back aboard, little girl. So anyway, hate to say it, continue work on the tow rails. Long, tedious project, but that's where we're headed. I've got 2 days. Basically, I've got the rest of today and tomorrow to get some work done. I do have to help my mom with going to run a couple errands for her tomorrow. But other than that, we're going to keep working on the tow rails. I picked up some chisels. One of the things we're going to do immediately here is go get the new chisels and cut these little jewels off right here. I don't know if it's focusing or not. Anyway, yeah, I got some nice sharp chisels and cut the bungs off that I put in last time, sand them in, get them all tailored right into the tow rails here. And that's one of the things. I have another little project that I started a long time ago that I brought down here with me, and I'm going to be working on that. But I'll let that come around when it gets here. All right, well, I'm glad I watched that video of how to cut a bung when you're doing the trimming, because it gave me all the answers I needed right off the bat. I started over on this side and tapped on it, and it peeled up, but that showed me that the grain was headed down like this. And thankfully, the grain stopped. The cut stopped right there, right at the level of the top of the tow rail. So what that means is you don't keep going from this side. From this side, you have to come in from this side, and from there on you trim it down because all your grain is coming up this way. And anyway, so I'm going to do that with each one of these. You test for grain first, make sure that you know which way that grain is going, up or down, through the course of the bung, and then start high when you test your grain. That way you know it's not going to go right down and down inside the tow rail or whatever. So just a word of caution. I learned that just from watching a good old YouTube video. So very useful. This has been coming out great. Here's the first one I did right here. That's a brand new bung. And it is perfectly rounded in and smoothed in with the whole rest of the tow rail. Second one I did is back here, right there, and again, no problem. After doing most of the carving out of the with a good flat chisel, I just bought these, a nice sharp flat chisel. I went ahead and got most of it down to level, or just above level, and then I took this. This is my sanding board, and it's got I think maybe 80 grit. I think it's 80 grit. It's intended to take things down fast, and I've been using the edge of it because I don't want to use the broad that's perhaps too much for coming over the top of this. And I very gently kind of work up and over it until I feel that it's pretty much level with the rest of the surface. And then I've been taking some 120. This is 120 here, and I'll finish it off, and I just go over it. That just brings it really. Let's look at this one. It's a whole lot easier to see it on. That 120 takes it down so that it's just virtually flush and smooth of the whole rest of the surface. And then when I get ready to finish everything up, then I'll go ahead and hit it with some 220, and that'll get it nice and smooth, and the whole tow rail will be getting that before it gets the Cuprinol. Yeah, I didn't say Cuprinol. Did I say Cuprinol? Cetol. Cuprinol would turn everything green, although I have used that in the past. Okay, but I just got done using the chisel on this, and you can see about how far down it got. I mean, that's all pretty much just chiseled down from something like this. And with a good sharp chisel, you can pretty much get it down where you want it, and then from there, then you start sanding it down level by level, you know, from 80 to 120 to 220, and until you get it finished up and looking like that. So anyway, all right, it's coming along. Yeah, I'm really pleased. So keep going on this. This is my kind of stuff. I love working with wood. Okay, so this is my other little side project for this trip. I just put this thing in the clamps last night. I'm just using the new generation of tight bond glue, because this is not going to be going outside. This is for use in the galley. Covers the sink, give her an extra little working surface. This was on the boat. I have no idea what it was supposed to be, but it had a couple of bars. I've got the original wooden bars that cross this here, but it's too big to go between the edging on the sink surface, you know, on the front of that countertop, and the beginning of the faucet, you know, where the faucet comes up there. So what I did, it had already fallen apart. So I took this apart and took a section out of the middle of it, you know, just to cut it. So this is exactly 11 1/4 across here. That's the width that I need, and it'll be very precise, laying down, and it'll just fit very nicely there. The only problem with this is it never was right. You can see the height difference here. There's you know, probably 1/16 of an inch maybe. Well, that's kind of a mess. And before they didn't mind because they just had the bars across there and let this be an uneven top. Well, what I've done is glued it so that the top is perfectly flush. And I'm going to maybe sand this out anyway. But then I'm going to come in with my really big sander and just buck this down to where this is just perfectly level. And then put my my old straps, my old wooden reinforcers across the bottom of this. But anyway, what I'm going to do is take this out of the clamps. I'm going to take it out to the boat and just see how it fits over the sink area, and we're going to go from there. Anyway, by the time this is all done, this is all going to be stained and varnished up really pretty to match everything else in the boat, and just going to be another little piece of woodwork to make it look nice inside and dress up the cabin.
15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less, then around 3.
Well, good morning from aboard, little girl. I brought my cutting board / working surface out here after doing that little segment, and fits beautifully. And by the way, I realized I don't even know what this was supposed to be initially, but I've got this cut now to where it fits beautifully between the front edge here and the sink. And these woods don't even look like they're the same wood. Supposedly they're both teak, but I'm not thinking so. Anyway, it doesn't matter because they're all going to get sanded out and stained and you know, varnished. And I'm not going to do Cetal on these. I want to do this matching with the interior woods on this boat, which are all mahogany. And you can't see those very well, not right now, because it's kind of dark in here. So anyway, that's done. I'm going to get out there and work on the bungs for a few minutes. I maybe take one more out. Go ahead and use my new chisels and get one more cut off. And these things are awesome. I love my DeWalt's compared to that piece of junk I was using yesterday before I went and exchanged it. I'll take these any day of the week. Just really good quality, super sharp, and it holds an edge. So get to work. Sun is out, solar panels out, And my mom has some, there we go, has some lousy half and half in the house. We're going to have to get some new half and half today. So I decided to come out on the boat and make myself a cup of coffee out here and press on. Meanwhile, I'm going to get out there in a minute and show you what we've got going. All 7 of the bungs that I did last time are done. They're all cut off, sanded out, dressed into the tow rails, and they look great. But I've got another 9, at least 9 bungs that have got to be filled. In other words, they're just holes here right now. Some of them are very, very wet because of the way that they were laying under the tarp. So those have got to be dried out and cleaned out. And for this time, we're going to concentrate on the port tow rails. The starboard, they're the ones that are all very, very wet right now. And those have got to have time to dry out before we can go ahead and do anything on them. Anyway, I'm going to get a cup of coffee and sit out in the cockpit for a few minutes and enjoy the morning sunshine. By the way, it's a balmy 40 degrees right now. It was 32 degrees when I was out here earlier, and boy, it's only going to get up to about 47 degrees today, but that's all right. Still get work done. Anyway, all right, pressing on, and going to have a great day aboard a little girl. Well, on this beautiful, bright, sunny day, hey, sun actually shining in the port lights on this boat. It's time for a new stuffed corner. And first thing we're going to start with is what I just put together last night. And this thing fits just perfect. Nice new surface. And by the way, this is not going to look this way when it's all done, but this has all been dressed exactly to the size it needs to be. And it's going to be sanded out and nicely stained in urethane to match all the mahogany on this boat that looks like that. And so anyway, that's what that's going to look like when it's all done. So that's first thing. And let's see, second thing. Yeah, we'll do the work aspect of this first. I just got these yesterday, and you already have seen them on the. In the work I've been doing. I'll tell you what, these DeWalt units are just awesome. I've been just using this 3/4 incher, and sharp as a razor, just beautiful stuff for doing the bungs. And compared to what was it? I'm trying to remember the other brand that I was using there. Anyway, these are just so much better quality, and I'm going to just, these are going to get used a lot on the boat and different things that we're going to have to do here. So stick with DeWalt, stick with a really good brand name. You want a decent chisel, this is the way to go. So anyway, okay, that's number 2 for tools that we're going to be using aboard a little girl. And number 3, I was just given this after church, or during church Wednesday night. Anyway, one of the guys was bringing some old stuff he didn't want anymore, and somebody else picked this up and says, "Hey, you want this?" I said, yeah. I've been wanting one of these for years. This is an old Tasco Imperial set of binoculars. Hello. Boy, do I need these aboard Little Girl. These will be so good. Anyway, these things are, well, let's put it this way. They don't make these anymore, literally. They continue to make, hang on, let me just put these down. There we go. Yeah, these are Tasco Imperials. And like I said, they make Tasco, but this old line, this is an very old case, like plushity line and all this kind of good stuff. Anyway, these are old, but I'll tell you what, they're awesome. Just really marvelous optics. Still, lenses are still all good. And let's see, what did it say here? It says 500 feet at 1,000 yards. You can pull it 1,000 yards to come in and look like it's only 500 feet. I was using these this morning, looking out the back window, and I was able to see out into the woods and see individual pine needles at about a couple hundred feet, and just fantastic. So I don't have a strap for them yet. I got to get a strap, but going to be a nice little addition to aboard little girl here. So, okay, that's it for New Stuff Corner for now. But wanted to get this little aspect of it in, and we're moving on. Got to get back to work. Well, I don't know how much you can see of this. Okay, tow rail, port side is, except for that one area that I'm going to have to do a repair later, all this is completely done up very nicely. There's new bungs in. Everything's sanded out and Cetol on it all the way, and by the way, inside and outside, up to past the midships. Okay, this is the back of the cabin right here, and that's where we're at. And I'm stopping right there because what's going on is I've got rain coming in by 2 o'clock tonight. It's a beautiful, dry, sunny day for now. It's about, what time is it? It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm looking down the cabin here. About 1:30 in the afternoon. I have till nighttime here for this thing to start to dry out before I have to put the tarp back on it. And I may end up putting that tarp on after dark at this point. But I'm really happy with this. I mean, these are brand new bungs here. And they're all in, sanded out, looking like they're part of the original equipment. Over on starboard, it's a slightly different story. I have to do one more bung back there, and I was just got in a hurry. And so I've got this done. That's the other repair that I've got to make. But then I come up here, and these are new bungs here, all the way up to the back of the jib sheet track. But the deal is on that, I'm not going to push it. I got some dampness over here on the starboard side, down close to the deck, and I want to let that dry. Sad part of this is I may not be able to get back to this until springtime. The problem that we've got is that by the time I get back here, it's going to be up to Thanksgiving time, and by that time, everything is really cold. I'm pushing it even today. The Cetol is not supposed to be going on unless it's 50 degrees out here and it's 46. So anyway, hey, at least we got Cetol on these. Repairs have been made. They're looking 100% better than they were. Well, let's put it this: 80, 85, 90% better. So anyway, yeah, hey, it's a start. I'll see if I can't get a few bungs epoxied in this afternoon as we go forward past where we've gotten done so far. We're going to do a different wrap-up this time on restoring Little Girl. The tow rails have all been Cetol'd up to a certain point. That's probably all I can get away with right now. They are drying, thankfully. I'm grateful that probably by the time I get the tarp put on, they'll be pretty much dry. What I'm going to do in the meantime, rather than do any more videotaping, whatever, I'm just going to go ahead, and I've got 4 more bungs to do on the port side over here. And I'm going to start shaping some bungs, giving them a little camphor, and just getting those ready, preparing the holes, and try to do some epoxy work and get those in. The thing about epoxy is it's cold. It's already 40 degrees, probably a little minus that. But I did some research, and as long as I mix it inside and get the, have it mixed inside so where it's fairly warm, we got to take a hair dryer and actually heat the holes before I put the bungs in, and we'll see. The thing is, it's got a long time to dry, and generally speaking, as long as you give it plenty of time to harden and cure, epoxy will do the job, and it will harden and cure. So anyway, we're going to just keep pressing on from here. Get those 4 bungs done, and made good progress this trip. Hey, got those bungs that I put in last trip all completely cut off, sanded, worked in nicely with the rest of the tow rail, and then got everything sanded out and put some Cetol on everything. So that's a big step forward. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep plugging. No pun intended. Time to put her to bed. As I already mentioned, we got 10 bungs done this afternoon, and that's awesome. We're now all the way up to the bow, and, little by little. But we got snow coming in tonight actually it's going to be tomorrow. A nor'easter rainstorm coming here tomorrow morning early. And so this has got to be all put to bed now. And then we're going to be heading out for Vermont probably tonight. And the whole point being snow. This rain that's here is going to be snow up there. And that way we'll be getting in plenty of time before the snow starts. So anyway, been a good episode, good time down here, got a lot done, and just really pleased, little by little. And we'll, Lord willing, and if the creek don't rise, she'll be in the water by next summer.